Hey guys, today's March 14th, and I want to make a quick updated video about the severe storms later today and tonight. So basically, right now we're looking at the radar at the moment. We have thunderstorms developing across Missouri, southwestward into Oklahoma. No tornado warnings on them at the moment, but lots of severe storm warnings out there in the orange polygons. Also, we have a tornado warning here in northeastern Kentucky for a supercell that's been ongoing over the last few hours. This can continue over the next hour or so as it continues moving eastward across northeastern Kentucky. But the main show is now beginning out west over Missouri and Arkansas and Oklahoma, where we have thunderstorms quickly developing. Even some supercells, it looks like, here to the west of St. Louis. As these cells are more discrete, as they are now to the west of St. Louis and around Jefferson City, that's when they'll have the best tornado potential. But the low level wind shear is not very impressive across this area, so I'm not expecting a tornado outbreak, but there will certainly be some tornadoes. I'm very concerned about the very large hail, though. I think the hail will be the biggest threat out of these storms today. So I want to go to the model now, and this is the high resolution HRRR going out into the future. So this is right around now. We have the storms developing across Missouri. And then in a couple hours, maybe in just like another hour or two, the model is showing a widespread storm development along the warm front here across Illinois, Indiana, and Ohio. And it's even showing that these could be supercellular. I am concerned about a greater tornado threat now across Illinois, Indiana, and Ohio along the warm front because the low level wind shear is stronger in this region than it is over Missouri and Arkansas. So I am a little more concerned about a tornado threat across the north in the Ohio Valley at the moment over the next few hours once these storms start developing. And actually, let's look at some model soundings, and I could show you guys that. Let's go to northwestern Arkansas. You could see we have decent curvature in the hodograph, a little bit of veering of the winds in the low levels. But as you could see, only 15 knots of shear in the lowest kilometer. So not a whole lot of low-level shear, and even the helicity in the lowest kilometer is less than 100. So not a lot of rotation going on in the updrafts to produce such tornadoes. But there is steep mid-level lapse rates causing lots of instability out there over Arkansas. So I am concerned about very large hail in those supercells out there. Let's go to the St. Louis area. Let's look at the same thing. You can see not a whole lot of veering of the winds in the low levels. Not much curvature in the hodograph, so I'm not expecting a tornado outbreak for this area either. You can see not a lot of low-level wind shear also, but still steep middle-level lapse rates, lots of instability. So the very large hail is still possible in the St. Louis area today or tonight. Then let's go to like the Illinois, Indiana border region. Here still very little curvature and very little veering of the winds in the low levels. Very good bulk shear. Still not a lot of low level wind shear. Decent helicity values in the hundreds. So it's not looking like a very ripe tornado environment. But I would expect there could be some tornadoes in this area, given some helicity, some low-level veering of the winds. But still, even this area has some steep mid-level lapse rates, so I expect large hail even into Illinois and Indiana. And then one more area I want to look at here is possibly, maybe let's go an hour or two later. Let's look into parts of central Ohio. So in this area, this area's got some decent curvature in the low levels. It's got some curvature in the hodograph, so there would be some tornado potential here too in Ohio. Helicity values in the 300s and even some decent shear values in the 30s and 40 knots. So the tornado potential exists out here too. I think it's a little bit better here in Indiana and Ohio, more so than Missouri and Arkansas, honestly, considering you have the warm front in this area. So I am concerned about tornado potential here along the warm front, right in this area here this evening. You can see this is by around 8 o'clock tonight. The HRRR model is showing a widespread thunderstorm development along the warm front, even some supercells possible. It's showing here in parts of central Ohio. So very large hail possible in this area and a tornado threat. But once again, I'm not expecting a tornado outbreak, but given the environment, I would expect some tornadoes possible in this area here. Maybe even more so than parts of Missouri. But you can see that the model is showing supercellular storms developing around this time, also across parts of Arkansas and Oklahoma, eastern Oklahoma. So let's actually look at a sounding for this area too. Let's go to portions of western Arkansas around 7 p.m. Central Time tonight in the next few hours. You can see there is some veering of the winds in the low levels, a little bit of curvature in the photograph. But the low level shear is not very impressive, and even the bulk shear of only 47 knots showing there. Helicity values in the hundreds is just marginal enough to get some tornado development. So once again, even in this area, even though there's supercells, even though the model is showing supercells right here in this area, I would expect more of a very large hail threat with some tornado threat out there, not a tornado outbreak by any means. Generally for the whole day today, I'm not expecting a tornado outbreak. I'm thinking the hail will be the biggest threat. Baseball-sized hail will be possible in some of these storms. Now, as we get further into the night, after sunset, these storms quickly start to congeal into line segments, so that by midnight, this is around midnight tonight, you can see it's just one long line of storms possible, extending from southern portions of Ohio all the way down to maybe even the Dallas-Fort Worth area. By this point, once these storms start to form into line segments, the tornado potential will start to go down dramatically. But I'm still expecting some damaging winds with this, especially along the southern end of it, here in Arkansas, Oklahoma, Texas, as these storms start to quickly dive southeastward. And as we go overnight tonight, you can see they start moving southeast. The northeastern part of it here starts to weaken, but the southern portion of it that dives south across Arkansas, Mississippi, portions of eastern Texas, maybe Louisiana, I think this area will stay more severe overnight, considering there's more instability. And so I expect the damage and wind threat overnight for this region here. Places like Memphis, Little Rock, Shreveport, Louisiana, Jackson, Mississippi should all be on the lookout overnight tonight for potential for damage and wind gusts from this squall line. And with that being said, I think that's all I got. I don't want to make this video too long, just a quick summary about the radar tonight. So I hope everyone stays safe out there. Have a good day, everyone.